In the color blue, playing as the Ruse, we got LucifroN7 here on Hill and Dale. On the opposite side, we got 3DB in the color green, playing as the Mongols. An interesting start here from Lucifron, sending his scouts out, but not just scouts, he's also sending a villager out on the map immediately. Let's check out what that dude is going for, or rather that girl. What's she planning?
Yeah, this is one of those things where you see it and you're like, all right, well, forget all of our early game discussion. There's action already starting. And I feel like that's what happens a lot of times with Empire Wars. You get the intro in and then it's already military units. You're already seeing some action come into play. And this villager maybe trying to go for a little bit of an early market wall, but doesn't know where the market is.
It looks like it, but it looks like it's not just one villager. I think on the other side, there's another villager as well. There we go. It looks like Lucifron immediately wants to wall 3DB on all sides of the map. Look at that.
Yeah, not the market wall, just walling 3DB inside of his base. And those aren't normal wooden walls. Those are those Rus fortified palisades. And those are very, very tough to break through if those end up going down. As we expected, Golden Gate is the choice, and it's not the Silver Tree. It's going to be the Deerstones, which really makes sense because of how many villagers you're immediately empowering with your early Deerstones.
Yeah, now your opponent might think that you want to contest the trade, but if you're not trading at all, then really you're not too bothered by these walls. You already get the sheep in here early. And the Deerstone, what it allows you to do is it allows you to make military very early on since you're not focusing on trade. And then it's really not a big deal to break through these walls anymore. It looks like 3DB, he's right now massing up a lot of wood. So his scaling is not going to come in through trade, but rather a second TC.
Yeah.
Ooh, and the wall.
Wall gets denied earlier on, and look at B. He was pulling some vills, I think, to help burn down the wall. But now that he has his con, has the scout in play, those walls are going to be fully denied as that villager does not have any support.
Yeah, sheep here look to be remaining there. He's just going to send these back with his remaining scout. Doesn't have to be too worried about the sheep early on. And look at that, Lucifron also going for a fast second TC here.
Yeah, and with, as you mentioned, with that Golden Gate, he can really do a lot of different things after this second TC. He can play it into the Castle Age. He can play it into this more of a Feudal Age play, or he can even go with the third TC if he wants.
Yeah, so scaling definitely on the side there of the Ruse, should they go for a 30C, but it doesn't look like it. Look at that, Lucifron, he's not messing around when it comes to the walls. He's immediately putting up a second layer here.
Yeah, and there's a lot of resources here to the north side of this base from 3DB. Comparative to the south, he only has wood in the south, and all of the primary vital resources are in the are in the north, including the neutral market.
Exactly. B still has a lot of villagers here on wood, could be looking into production buildings, so potentially third TC. Doesn't look like Lucifron right now is going for a third TC. He's happy with just that second TC. Oh, scout here. Puts down the Falcon, but gets taken down by the expansion TC.
Yep, the first kill of the game coming in at this 3-minute mark, which I will say is later than some of these Empire Wars games than we've been seeing. And from here, you can see the kind of remacroing by B, sending a lot onto the gold. So probably planning on trying to get up to Castle Age himself.
Lucifron, as soon as he killed that scout, he immediately dropped down a stable, 2 stables even, so might be trying to pump out a couple of knights still in the Feudal Age, get some harass going on his opponent's side, now that he kind of got a little bit of vision denied. At the same time, B, also looking to produce some Keshiks here. I'm not sure if that's double produced. It might have been double produced already. It is a double production Lances here, coming out, rather the Keshiks.
Yeah, and this will immediately be able to put a lot of pressure on the other side. Those Keshiks might not be as strong as Knights, but they do have that healing ability. They can kind of regroup, be able to, attack those wooden palisades at home and heal on back up.
Lucifron, he's got a good Knight count in queue as well already. 2 Keshiks out in map, but 3 normal Knights in queue for Lucifron. As you said, these Knights, they do pack a little bit more of a punch, so in a straight-on battle, the Knights from Lucifron will do better. And do we see another scout going down here? Looks like it.
Yep, the scout just barely gets taken out, but still 2 scouts over there for the Ruse side. That's that huge benefit of those scouts. Early on, they get the bounty, and then they get that vision throughout the map. Right as the Knights charge on the other side, Keshiks turn around for the charge, getting some decent trades. Here, just focusing in on that single Knight, and as we mentioned, B has that ability to heal up later on.
And let's not forget, Lucifron, he might have potentially done B a favor here putting these walls up in his base, that's like prime real estate for your Keshiks to just heal back up if they're weak.
Yeah, it's like a free little monk, but oh my, villagers under those TCs are plentiful. Those knights taking beneficial trades. Stone Node being a little bit of a body blocker, not in a good way for B, and needs to get back on out of there.
Both players right now just massing up the knights here. First knight potentially going down. Lance is not going to connect. Keshik survives.
Oh, as you say that, caster curse, and the knight finishes it off. B not able to micro, and another Keshik falls. So LucifroN is 2-0 in the trade department there.
And behind this, we can clearly see that B, he did not want to stick around here in the feudal age. Instead, he's macroing straight up to Castle Age. This, however, could open up a timing for LucifroN. Even with the upgrades on the Keshiks, they're only going to be roughly even to the feudal age knights, and this could become a little bit rough here if LucifroN finds a good timing here. Age up now coming in. Separate out being rushed up with 16 villagers.
Yeah, LucifroN moving out there. Has a good amount of wood. Might be able to just sell some wood, remacro with the Golden Gate, and plan on dropping that, but also might just be going out for a deer expansion. Another couple Keshiks. Uh-oh. Oh, almost able to find a knight pickup and able to get out without too much damage. And it is a third TC for LucifroN here.
That is very interesting. It is a late third TC. And it's not spotted right now, so this could catch B a little bit off guard. At the other hand, though, he's got the step readout, right? So every single villager that he's got on gold right now counts as like 1.5 villagers when it comes to the pure income there on gold. That's a good eco scaling for him. Upgrade isn't in yet. Keshik still taking a fight there. That he definitely don't want to take that fight. Have to retreat under TCs, but these are armored units. They might not be too afraid of actually diving under TCs. A couple more Keshiks coming out. Upgrade about to come in.
I'm still shocked 3DB and pulling a couple of these off, going over to heal, just because those two Keshiks are one charge away from death. LucifroN making the transition to spears as well. Sees how many Keshiks B is investing into, playing that defensive game after he is invested into the third TC.
And this LucifroN, he's not too far off the Castle Age as well. And while he has the knight advantage, he is also now prepping in the spearman.
Yep. The question is will B be able to take back this map control? As we say, that charge comes in. Keshiks still do not outnumber the knights on the other side, taking an even trade 2 for 2.
High trade house now being rushed up by LucifroN. 13 villagers on there. Does have the spearman in defense here. Only feudal age spearmen, but they're going to do enough damage against the Keshiks. They do not have quite as much max health as these knights do right now.
Ooh, high trade house positioning. Not really as prime time as you would like. Behind this, still no relics being picked up as of now. B just having to kind of repressure towards this base and hope to find the high trade house. He spots it out, but can he actually get some damage down on this? LucifroN forced to pull back his knights, having to defend this up, and B is just going to fall right back.
B now also looking to secure some of the relics. First monk is in queue. He does have the upper hand now when it comes to the cavalry count, but LucifroN already the spears out. He emulating that, now also trying to get his own spears out.
Yeah, immediately getting veteran upgrades on the spears, on the knights as well. And LucifroN just going to be able to play that defensive game with knowing that he's ahead, will slowly eke ahead on the eco count if he doesn't take damage.
Yeah, the 30C, slowly but surely, is going to make a difference here in this one. However, it did come in a little bit late, so the scaling isn't going to be too noticeable right off the bat. Only 2 villagers ahead for now. Looks like LucifroN also managed to get an expansion out on the boar on the left side of the map. Probably with a wooden fortress as well. Yeah, does have a wooden fortress there. Nice little hunting cabin as well. Provide some passive income there.
Ooh, this is the real big first worry with the newer Hill and Dale. You only have that first gold on your hill, so that's where we were talking about. You got to retake some map control. Stepped Redoubt having to roll over to that next gold vein in the center, and B will need to invest into some outposts around that to make sure those knights aren't circling and don't just find gold.
LucifroN now also reinvesting into those knights. Still has a good amount, and these knights are stronger than Keshiks in a one-on-one. Spearman count not quite there yet for B, but it's a similar situation right now for LucifroN. He also needs to get a little bit more further out on the map in order to secure gold. Does in theory have access to the gold on the right-hand side with that secondary, or rather the third TC.
Yeah, and that's where it's not quite defended by that TC, but it's close enough and far enough away from his main base that B would really have to split off to focus over there. B has made the re-macro over to the gold, and the huge benefit for B is the food department. He's started to like invest into a ton of these pastures at home, so he has a ton of sheep that are just constantly flowing in. Won't have to make a farm transition like LucifroN will.
Yeah, the food transition being very, very easy here for the Mongols in comparison to most other civilizations. You pop down a pasture, you immediately get a sheep out, so 8 villagers pretty much can start gathering immediately. Units here, though, from B have to be careful not to be caught off position. Right now, unit advantage. On the side of B, army value looking good as well. However, when it comes to the composition, LucifroN right now, he still has more spearmen. He's getting some warrior monks out as well. That buff could make a difference there.
And this is one of those where that Khan, I think, just gave a little bit of the positioning away, attacked before the knight or before the Keshiks were. Behind this, though, B has been able to secure 2 relics. The Vil difference isn't too crazy as well, and it's starting to look like B's kind of taking this control of this map.
Yeah, so the next fight is going to be very, very decisive here. If B finds his knights out of position and loses them, that could be very, very terrible here for him. Has to be careful with them. Every now and then, LucifroN's knight get a couple of charges off here. Single knight, splitting off from the group, idling out the villagers again. Khan very likely to go down here.
Khan will go down. A nice little surround. GG's in the chat, but look at the reinforcements for 3DB. We talked about him having the military number advantage, and this is where the numbers are finally coming in. A couple knights go down for free, and this is where one of those food sources we talked about could be pressured with LucifroN being on those front berries.
Warrior monk able to take down one of the monks here from B, and fight about to happen here in the middle.
And Clash goes down. There's so many spears, and the spears from LucifroN immediately able to engage onto those Keshiks. So many reinforcements from B, though. The circle comes around, and a Wololo from the Warrior Monk.
Ooh, gets taken down, though. Wololo denied. Army count still looking good here for B.
Yeah. More reinforcements will be coming in. This front side, though, it's looking like LucifroN is in a bit of trouble here, having to fall back. Be able to get some reinforcements in, and those villagers that are on the front side, they're not going to be able to gather those berries anymore. And behind this B, he's also raiding the east. He's everywhere right now, not letting LucifroN relax or chill.
Not at all. Look at that. Already villagers have gone down. 5 villagers have been killed. LucifroN still has a slight eco lead, but now he has to transition to range units as well. Get some crossbowmen out, get some archers out. But the production, it's all forward, and that's where B's army is. He can just pick off any units right now.
And how do you get any gold? How do you get any vital units? You can only go Archer Spear right now if you're LucifroN because you have no gold. And not only that, your food's starting to get pressured too. He hasn't made the farm transition. He's not really going to be able to have this huge food income for long.
Oh, units clashing. Get caught by the brace, loses 2 knights, and there we go, reinforcements. Just as they pop out of the building, get taken down, and LucifroN calls it. First game in our best of 7 here to start the day. Going over to B.
Yeah, and I really feel like LucifroN, he went for that 3rd TC, and we never saw the Vil lead really eclipse for him. It never really had an effect, and I just felt like that 3rd TC was too late at that point. There'd been too many things going on already, and it never had its time to pay off.
Yeah, I feel like LucifroN, if he added like the range units a little bit earlier, we saw that both players had a huge number of melee units out when the clash happened. If one of the sides had range units to like be able to help with the damage output, regardless of pathing, that could have definitely shifted the tide there, but both players just going for the melee clump, and we see that B just having a lot more units there when the fight initially happened means he was able to take down LucifroN's army so much quicker, reduce the amount of damage his units take, and with that just takes a decisive win there in the midfield and just pushes into LucifroN's base.
Yeah, LucifroN was never able to restabilize back up after that, and B, just perfect timing strike on the Mongols with the first game playing against the Rus. And this is a best of 7. And so next map in store, it will end up being a mirror matchup. As we can see, it is Chinese versus Chinese on Kawasan.
Kawasan, probably one of the best maps in the pool, in the ranked map pool for the Chinese. They're looking very good there. Very flexible, good water economy as well. Both players going for them here. It's going to be interesting since I'm not sure about you, but LucifroN, when I see him play as the Chinese, usually it's like a little bit unorthodox. It's like it's not one of his more experiences. Meanwhile, on the other hand side, B, he really knows how to play China. He really knows like the ins and outs of the civilization. With LucifroN, it feels like the way he plays China is more like he plays China like you would play HRE somewhat. It's like more of a it's a weird kind of playstyle. It's very hard to describe whenever I see LucifroN play China. But obviously, it's been a little bit since I really analyzed LucifroN's gameplay with the Chinese. Last time I saw it, I think it was on Holy Island.
Holy Island. I was literally gonna say the only time I really see it, it's what you said though. Plays it just like HRE. It's the hybrid map. Hey, my economy is gonna be really strong behind this. I can make it pay off on the water on these certain timings. Kawasan, not quite the Holy Island shared water, but you have those two ponds that you still have this kind of same hybrid map effect.
Yeah. In the end, Kawasan, a lot more pressure, or rather a lot more attention is going to be paid onto land here on this map if we compare it to Holy Island. So it's going to be interesting to see if LucifroN really knows, or rather if he knows how to deal with China here on Kawasan. I know that Vortex really does know how to do that, and Vortex is probably LucifroN's like main practice partner. Usually, they do practice a lot together. So, if LucifroN learned a lot there from Vortex, I think this one could be really, really even, regardless of like how we previously felt about those players like Civilization Mastery.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with Empire Wars 2, it's Empire Wars is it's obviously solos is still solos, but Empire Wars is such a game mode that if you put in a lot of the practice, you can really tell the players that did work on their builds, their kind of timings, all these different things, because it is such a different start to the game because it's so much quicker. And that's where, yeah, he might not have that Chinese experience in solos, but he might have that Chinese experience in practicing in Empire Wars, though.
Exactly. So Kawasan, that's the home map from 3DB. So it looks like LucifroN actually picked B's home map here for this one, which makes you think that maybe he's got a plan here. Maybe he does have a plan. It's going to stand to figure out if that plan works out in a mirror, though.
Yeah, and in just a second, we will be jumping into this game number 2. LucifroN, he wants to tie up the series, but B, he wants to be able to get off to this good start, and let's see what we have.
And here we go, jumping in to our game number 2 in our first set of the day. It's going to be LucifroN once again playing in the color blue as the Chinese. We're here on Kawasan on the opposite side of the map. We got B playing the Chinese as well in the color green. And look at that, both players immediately sending villagers to each side there, to every single pond. So very, very much mirrored opening here to start the game with.
And I love the positioning by the dock, the first dock that we're able to see from 3DB. It's a little bit further forward. It's not just on his side. It does get some great fishing location as far as how close it is to that. But more importantly, if it gets upgraded with any sort of good old arrow slits, it is that much more effective against his opponent.
Exactly. But unfortunate here for the other position from the dock, though, for B. It's a little bit further away from those fish. But with China, it doesn't take too long to build up another dock on any of these ponds, so could be looking into an additional pond here. So far, it doesn't look like any of the players went over to stone to get like any of these early emplacements going, so will very likely just be a start with military ships here, as both players are aging up now with the Imperial Academy.
Yeah, LucifroN going a little bit quicker once that just barely the quicker timing, and Junk immediately queued on up, whereas on the other side, B already investing into Wheelbarrow, those 2 extra villagers, a little bit more of an economic focus for B. thinks he can just defend with this timing, which rock, paper, scissors on land potentially, or on the sea could potentially make this an easy defense if he just pops out the correct ship.
Oh, this becomes difficult, though. He invested into some fishing ships here to start the game off, and I mean, he doesn't really have anything to defend these fishing ships with right now. So these are going to go idle here.
Yep. Absolutely worthless fishing ships for the time being, but War Junk will pop out in a second on one dock, not the other though, as LucifroN. He had galleys pop out on either side, so made sure to deny both of these fishing ships that were produced.
First War Junk, now coming out for B. It's going to be able to push that normal junk back. And very likely going to see a demo ship now in queue. There we go, demo ship right after that War Junk. And a villager also getting pulled in order to repair that ship.
Yeah, that's so huge. The villagers repair their ships so quickly. It looks like the demo coming after the War Junk. So LucifroN looks like he has some solid control of this southern pond here, at least for now, having the 111 ship build. And Demo immediately going up. Not only will it get the damage on the Springle chip, it gets the damage on the dock, but is it enough to heal it? It is not. There's a villager behind.
Villager trying to repair the ship there. A lot of micro coming out there at the same time. Looks like a ship is going to get traded here. Junk getting traded for War Junk. That one is likely to go down with the demo ship. Does go down.
Oh, on the other side, a huge demo ship. B loses both his ships.
Gets a demo ship in though.
Oh,
manages to take down the War Junk.
Both ponds just have been completely annihilated. No ships on either side, really. There's one galley barely out at half health, and on the other one, there's nothing at all.
That's a lot of micro going on two ponds at the same time. Very difficult for either player so far, but it looks like LucifroN, it looks like he's just taking a little bit of a better engagement here so far. When we look at the destruction value, also a lot of idle time caused on these fishing ships that B did invest into. B managing to somewhat equalize the situation here for now. Another demo gets produced by LucifroN. Really has to be careful. There's not a single archer ship right now for B on any of these ponds, so demolition ships can do a lot of damage here.
And speaking of, the demo ship's gonna step on up. That Springle ship's trying to get healed up by the villager. Great micro, pulling back the villager, splitting it off the demo. One more health on that villager, but still is alive, keeping the Springle ship breathing. And on the other pond, still microing enough to do everything it can. I mean, this is absolutely, it's not a battle on land and sea, it's just a battle on two different ponds here. LucifroN, though, another demo ship.
Ooh, loses the demo ship and the War Junk. Huge losses there for B, and it stands to reason that I don't think, like, long-term, B is going to be able to hold these ponds. Look at how much wood LucifroN has saved up right now. He could produce a ton more ships if he wanted to.
Yeah, it's almost like he's kind of just waiting, seeing what he needs to do. It's one of those, he knows he doesn't need to overproduce, waste resources, and once he secures up these ponds, if he can full deny the dock on the other side from B, then he's free reigns to start investing into the fishing ships, into his own eco.
Once again, demo ship coming out there, tries to get the shot in, and once again, takes out the War Junk. Look at that, LucifroN leading a lot right now when it comes to the overall military count. Only way for B in here is the eco count, and there's one thing that's good for him right now. He grabbed all the eco upgrades very, very early on here in this game. Oh, archer ship wants to take down the demo ship. Gets taken down first though. Oh!
And another just great trade by LucifroN. Villager is there to try to heal this up again. And B just has to pull that villager out for the time being. Ship pops back out, and he's able to just barely keep ships alive. This is unbelievable micro. If this were any other player, I feel like would have had these ponds full lost at this point.
Once again, demo ship coming out. This time for B, though. There's no archer ship remaining right now for LucifroN with that. B has to be very careful. This is his ship. LucifroN keeps his one alive.
And LucifroN has gone for the second dock here on the bottom side. Or, I mean, on the northern side. B has his own second dock on the other side as well. So, having to start getting these extra resources, getting later in the game, we're going to see even more investments into these ponds.
Demo ship now being produced here by B. There's just been so much action going on here right now in water, and look at that B on the left pond. He's added in another dock there on the top side in order to keep up with LucifroN's second dock. But it's still very difficult. Another demo, and there's only war chunks out right now. This could be terrible. B needs to notice.
Split!
Oh no! 2 ships. Now very low HP.
Not only
One went
2,
down.
it's a third too because the demo popped out, immediately gets killed in insufficient wood, loses the dock on the northern pond. This is all going downhill so fast.
Oh, behind this, it feels like B. He's almost macroing up to Castle Age right now. He's not too far off of that. Meanwhile, LucifroN, he's invested a lot into these demo ships. Neither player went for a TC expansion on land in the meanwhile. It's all just been about these docks here so far, and feels like B right now. He's just... He's going off the paddle right now a little bit when it comes to water here. He's just trying to focus on land from the looks of it.
Yeah, I mean, I will say in Empire Wars, it is a little bit different with water. LucifroN doesn't have a ton of fishing boats out. It's not like he is... has this extra economic lead. He'd have to start investing into these ships after, and B, he's actually very, very close to Castle while forcing LucifroN to invest more and more into this.
Oh, the war chunk once again gets taken down by the demo ship. And now, suddenly B, reinvesting a lot into water. 2 war chunks get killed, but demo ships immediately out there. B not able to catch a break from these demo ship connections here.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's at Castle if he wants to, but instead he just keeps queuing up a few more ships, and it's just delay. LucifroN, tight on his macro, was low on a lot of resources, but at this point, can start to chill, can start to try to potentially re-macro to Castle himself if that's what B's plan is.
And we're now also seeing a couple of fishing ships coming out here from LucifroN. Once again, demo getting these connections. These are so dangerous for LucifroN. Demo ship now coming out for B. Gets some micro out. Wants to dodge the arrow ship. Still gets the connection though. Is able to take down another ship there, but... Oh, demo ship also staying alive.
Oh, and now the dock's gonna get denied. This is the point where LucifroN, he has full control of the eastern pond now. He's about to have full control of the northern pond, and B, he's at the same point he was 2 minutes ago as far as his macro in the bank. He's just been floating 800 food, 500 gold for like a while. He produces a couple ships and then they die. The dock does end up getting built, but losing 2 more villagers for it. LucifroN is now ahead in eco.
This is a very interesting situation right now here on water. And we see the destruction value. LucifroN just taking down so much more value here from B. Demo
and look at how quick eco's starting to get out of hand. Another demo.
Oh, good trade for B, finally. Tries to get the connection in, not successful.
Starting to trade on the other side, but we got triple dock for LucifroN, and on the eastern pond, he has nothing to worry about, so that's all going to be fishing ships. His eco's about to just skyrocket up and just start to gap 3DB over time.
It's just so much micro going on here right now on these ponds. B trying to take down the archer ship here from LucifroN, but every now and then, every time he goes forward with these war chunks, the demo ships are just coming out. More and more demo ships from all sides. There's so much investment into these demo ships here on these ponds, but this one looks like a good engagement for B. Finally, able to push out a little bit with his own ships. Just needs to be careful not to lose all of these expensive war chunks to the demos. And yeah, he has the food now to go up. Just lacking the gold for now. Oh my god, able to minimize the damage here.
LucifroN, he's starting to invest in the arrow slits on this dock, on these docks here in this side, because it looks like he is losing this northern pond with all this investment from 3DB. But 3DB still 1,500 food in the bank for 3DB, doesn't have anything to spend it on, hasn't had any land units out, and still doesn't have anything to show for it as far as the ponds go.
Yeah, he's getting a market out, so could potentially buy his way up now to Castle Age. Could be the plan for him. And once he gets to Castle Age, maybe just some fast knights probably. I don't even think you need to go into Palace Guards. I think just some fast knights would already be able to buy him a lot more value here.
Demo pops out, immediately has a galley on top of it. B's able to deny that up, and again, another demo pops. This one, though, connects onto his sprinkle chips and a couple of the fishing boats as well. Insufficient wood. B, though, about to hit Castle Age. What will this castle timing do for him? LucifroN's not too far away himself.
And it feels like B is sort of like missing his timing. He doesn't have a production building out yet on land, so the Castle Age doesn't immediately provide him with anything. He's still investing into water, gets 2 more demo ships out. He's repairing his ships as well. That's a lot of wood investment. He's just floating so much food right now. Oh, no! Ship 2!
Oh my god! 2 war junks and the fishing boat. Just full security again of that pond, I feel like. B just keeps having to invest into it, where LucifroN has to invest nothing into this other pond that he has.
There's been no investment so far on land here by B. Still not a single production building there. It's a demo ship out. And it looks like he's finally starting to take control of one of the ponds here. But behind that, LucifroN, he's had control for a long time of the other pond. He's got a lot of fishing ships out right now. Heavy eco lead for him.
B focusing on trying to get these relics fast. That could be one of the main differences. Water does have this somewhat, you know, fall off, as if they both end up having the control of either pond. Well, you know, as long as he gets a majority of fishing boats out at some point, it'll end up kind of equalizing it out. And another way to do this over time, getting Song Dynasty for yourself, a little bit of a quicker Vil production.
Yeah, Barbican also in the middle, could potentially secure B a couple of resources there. LucifroN right now going into a lot of these palace guards, also queued up a Springle preemptively here. Springle could potentially allow him to get control over one of these ponds again, as the Springle does do a lot of bonus damage to these ships.
Yeah, has a ton of range, can easily just start slow sniping the ships, especially when he has the infantry number, having just a ton of palace guards starting to flow out. B, trying to secure these berries in the center with his Barbican, which I feel like is one of those that, like, it sounds nice, but when you have this many resources, just continually send palace guards under this, there's not really much food you can gather.
Yeah, B is now also making his own knights, so does have a good counter against these palace guards. Question is gonna be, is he gonna have enough? And oh, Wololo gets the knight now, though, immediately. The question is, LucifroN, he already has these barracks out now, so a pivot into Spearman is not gonna be too hard for him.
No, not by any means, and he's got a good solid amount of palace guards to start off. Villagers forced off of the boar. One of the scouts gets taken down. And LucifroN walks over to see that another relic has been taken. B so far, though, secures one relic, has another one being brought back.
And is able to defend his villagers against those couple palace guards there. One villager might go down here. Wheelbarrow is in play. Oh, no, decides to attack the wrong one. Villager survives. But there's still a palace guard there, isn't it? More palace guards on the way.
Yeah, once you find that location, you're just going to continually send units that way. Looks like B was able to go snag another one of those relics. Has the third one being brought back. Walls on the west side not quite being able to be finished yet, but should be soon with the support from the water.
I'm bad. LucifroN. Talked about it, has the barracks, immediately also invests into Spearman, and there is a second TC out right now for LucifroN. Still in Tank Dynasty, but that second TC is going to be better than Song Dynasty.
Yeah, just dropped it over there on the deer, some nice security behind this, and then at any point, Song Dynasty is going to be a really easy choice for him, a really easy, like, you know, it's not too many resources, 600 total, and drops a Barbican to defend up, and those TCs will immediately both get stronger.
Full Springled now, allowing LucifroN to get back onto that pond, and look at that. Look at the damage from the Springled on the fishing ships now. Ooh, yep. One shots.
And this, every fishing boat that goes down, a lot of investment. That's a villager, essentially, that B wants working for himself.
Yeah, the food economy from B, it's going to be under fire here very soon. He's also going onto stone now, so could be looking for his own secondary TC, which he's definitely going to need. Is
B about the imp?
That would be... I'm not sure about this one. I am not sure about that one. Wants to potentially go for a Sacred Side victory if he gets like a Great Wall Gatehouse out, but
it's a
I feel like if he does that... Oh... Oh, I'm not sure about that one. That feels like his economy is not strong enough for Imperial right now. Not with the amount of army LucifroN has.
I don't know if he knows the amount of army that LucifroN has. Yes, it's 55. Some of that is on the sea, but there is a huge blue blob heading across the mid-map. It's Spears, it's Palace Guards, and B, he's got 10 Knights that are roaming the other side. He needs something to defend this up.
Yeah, the Knights definitely not gonna be the thing here to defend with. Villagers are gonna have to seek shelter in the Barbican, but there's not enough room there. All villagers have to evacuate. Barbican is pumping out some damage. A couple of Knights here. They seem to be on auto move though.
Yep, running into Spears on the other side. B, he has too many things going on right now. He's needing to micro these villagers. Knights circle back in and run into another Spear Brace, and just in a blink of an eye, B loses, what was that, 6 to 8 Knights, loses his water on the north side, and LucifroN takes over this game with the greedy Imperial Age by 3DB.
B, he's going into bow chance right now. He might be winning on water there long term, but long term, that's not where we're gonna be here. LucifroN, he's just trying to finish this game off as soon as possible. More and more units in production right now. He's just trying to flood B.
2 Balchads going to come out on that northern side pond. Immediately should be able to take out something like that nest of bees, and villagers actually going to be able to burn down that nest of bees, so that will be at least one decent pickup for 3DB, but he is still looking like he is in some trouble.
Definitely is. He does have a good couple of relics there, but his food income, we can see, has plummeted right now. Down to 600 food per minute. That is not enough to field an army.
Yeah, and villagers, it might show 18 idle villagers, but there's also those villagers circling around constantly that aren't showing idled. Balchet's trying to kill some reinforcing units, trying to kill anything that comes out of these docks, but I mean, 1 or 2 already got taken down. Those Springlets can still be micro, can still do a great job, and demo ships.
Demo ships doing a lot of damage to these bow chants. B, he's gotten a cannon placement on the Barbican, so he's able to get a good amount of damage out there, but the units, there's still too many. They're just able to run past right now. Trying to get a keep up, needs a stone for it.
And LucifroN behind this, he's up to a 25 Vil lead. He's still flooding units. He's up 30 military units. And as we said with that Barbican, it's just a false sense of security. Yeah, it's doing a great amount of damage, but there's so many units coming out for LucifroN. Even with the ones that are getting taken down, there's still plenty that get past and plenty that get damage.
That Knight is able to run past, but the entire eco from B is in the backside here. He's gone onto farms, but now these farms are going to get idled out. A lot of units now approaching.
You can see how bad he needs that food. He's still on those berries in the middle, even though units are constantly running past, constantly idling him. Hiding back in that northern corner, more farms being dropped. I mean, he's trying to stabilize the best he can. He's slowly kind of doing it, but at the same time, LucifroN, he's still in a fine situation.
Very much so. B now has the resources for a keep if he wants to drop one. Question is, where is that keep going to go down? Maybe in the middle to stop these reinforcements from just running past the Barbican. Could also help him secure one of the ponds again if he gets a keep up there.
LucifroN just has units everywhere still. And behind this, remember, he's still 2TC. It's not Song Dynasty, but the 2TCs, they're working awfully hard. He's got 106 eco compared to 78 of B.
Look how many demo ships out there right now. And as soon as the Bouchan comes out, it's just immediately going to get taken down by these demo ships if LucifroN ranks here.
Or all the demo ships are immediately going to get taken down by the Balchat.
Oh, no. There it goes.
Oh.
Barbican now also coming up for LucifroN, so it's going to be a late Song Dynasty here for him. He's also ready to his own farm transition, so food income is going to be very nice here for LucifroN.
Yeah, B still hasn't been able to stabilize whatsoever. Look at the military units on land. He has 2 Palace Guards. That's it. He's got nothing out. Doesn't have upgrades coming into the bank. Doesn't really have any ability to stabilize this. Whereas LucifroN, he's got that double ranged armor. So those units, even though they're getting peppered constantly, not quite taking as much damage as they should be.
Oh, and LucifroN finally finds the back economy here potentially, as the Palace Guards and Spearmen run around there. And he's going to find the farms.
if he finds the farms. That is B's main part. He needs at least a little bit of food. His 600 food per minute all of a sudden gonna start disappearing. Honestly, honestly, if you're the spearman there, I wouldn't even hate to see them burn down those farms if you know how struggling B is, but maybe LucifroN just doesn't have that huge realization and knowing how bad B's food situation is.
Bauchan just able to survive, can get repaired back up. Ooh, the Imperial officials though, 2 go down. That hurts a lot, losing those Imperial officials, and look how many idle villagers are there.
This is one of those situations that when you find yourself in this situation ever, especially when you're in the Chinese, you got 40 villagers that you're running around. Usually you're not going to be lasting in the game too much longer. Palace Guard's still circling, hunting down those villagers, killing a bunch of them. LucifroN's military numbers have just continually been climbing up, even though the onslaught of the Barbican, all these towers, all the TCs, it just doesn't matter because B, he doesn't have military. He doesn't have resources.
Keep now being built by B somewhere. But his economy, it's all over the place. What? Oh, what power? Not a way trebuchet. There it is. That's the keep. It's gonna secure the wood line and the food income here. At least like for a while.
But again, still 14 villagers idled under the TC. The next reinforcing units of Palace Guards. I feel like all LucifroN needs is that one trebuchet to start sieging down the Barbican, and then just continue to what he's doing, and then he's just going to be able to slow push this.
Yeah, exactly. Double bomb bottom placements, doing some damage here to these units. Palace Guards though, able to just run past for now.
Yeah.
And now we see a second TC for B.
And B is no longer on the water on the north either, so LucifroN, he's the one now who can go up to Imp behind this, about to go up to Imp behind this, can start having that Bao Chad front line on the Kawasan Lakes, and I think when B sees Imperial Age hit, it is going to be when the FF comes out.
And then 5 minutes later, Spirit Wave now coming in. And B once again finds his economy flooded by men-at-arms.
30 villagers on top of that Spirit Way. Spirit Way is going to be coming in quite quickly as it comes in before I can even finish saying that. And B still isn't able to stabilize a long-term food resource. It's, as Vodka's highlighting, 88 total population compared to 177. And that 88 should fall here pretty quickly.
Heap is able to do a good amount of damage there. It's able to defend B for now. This entire front base, it's going to get taken down here very, very quickly. Loses the relics as well. That could be huge. He managed to get 4 relics somehow. That's his entire gold income.
Yeah, that was his lifeline. That was, I feel like, kind of maybe one of the reasonings of him going up to this quicker Imperial Age. It's like you can rely on the relic gold income a little bit, but not if those monasteries get burnt down. So many villagers focusing on rebuilding those monasteries too. There's the trebuchet starting the siege for LucifroN.
2 trebuchets out right now. Palace Guards just running past, distracting on all sides.
I mean, B has not been able to breathe. B has not been able to stabilize here. But, I mean, at this point, is this one of those where B knows he's lost the game and he's just trying to make LucifroN as frustrated as possible?
I think it also just has to do with, like, the information denial. Like, B potentially might think that he still has a chance in this game. Like, thing is, B never really got any more information about LucifroN's base. I don't think he ever I mean, he did realize when LucifroN did go to Song Dynasty, just because the Barbican is in range of his own. But the second TC might be completely unknown for him, that LucifroN has been on 2 TC for like 12 minutes now. I believe
one of the night raids got onto the second TC, but I could be mistaken. I know I saw an attack come on the second TC.
There were like 4 knights that died to Spearman, but they were on the left side of the base from LucifroN. Not sure if he managed to actually spot that one out.
Even still here, LucifroN getting to the point where he's about to be max population. He's been the one getting all these upgrades, getting a ton of actual land military out. The second trebuchet isn't attacking for him, but that Barbican, it is at its last limb. B's on his last gold vein now that he needs gold so bad, and LucifroN just spots it out with a couple more Palace Guards. It is looking like the end is finally here after we saw the beginning of the end about, I don't know, 10 minutes ago, maybe even longer than that, but B has tried to stabilize, tried to hold this, and just hasn't been able to do so.
Yeah, it's a very, very rough position here for him. He's not tapping out yet. Those does a couple of Palace Guards in queue, but we see the queue from LucifroN. We see how many he has out. We know that he has got all the major upgrades on them. Elite Palace Guards, has the defensive armor on them as well. Is able to dive TCs with that, but yeah, B, he's still in there. He's still struggling, but probably not for much longer.
He's on to 5 single Palace Guards left. The other Palace Guards from LucifroN have split off. They're on top of those gold villagers, and B finally throws in the towel. LucifroN has tied the series after the mirror matchup on Kawasan.
Yeah, B definitely wanted to get that 2-0 in there, but wasn't able to do so. LucifroN able to even out the set so far. 1-1 for both players. LucifroN winning in the Chinese mirror here. Very nice for him. Did manage to just pull ahead with that micro and water.
Yeah, the micro and water, even by both players, there were so many times where B barely kept the villager alive, barely kept a Springle chip alive. It just wasn't enough, especially after greeting for the Imperial Age. You can see when the villager graph starts to divide. You can see when the military graph starts to divide very, very heavily, and B never able to get back above, what is that, 12 units essentially throughout the whole entire course of the game.
Yeah, the military count. I mean, it's a miracle that B was able to survive for so long, right? Like with all the flood, and towards the end, he even got his economy back up again, got up to like 1800 food per minute. The main issue there was, as he said, he just wasn't able to get onto gold anymore at all, wasn't able to get resources that he needed to upgrade his units. So his units were always going to be inferior. And even if you get to similar numbers, if your units are just straight up worse, you're never going to win the fights.
Yep, and you can kind of just see that green graph never able to get up to the blue. And LucifroN, very clinical, very clean game with his hybrid maps. I feel like both of the Spanish bros are very, very scary to play against when it comes to those hybrid maps.
Exactly. All right, we're gonna be seeing what match is gonna be in store for us here. The next one's gonna be Dry Arabia. We'll be seeing Mongols from LucifroN against 3DB's French.
Oh, this is a classic matchup. Played out a little differently than starting in early Dark Age with 6 villagers, but still a great one. But as we see the timer, we actually have a little bit of time to talk. And in this meantime, a great thing to do if you are a viewer out there is !Patreon, a new old, I guess, is it new still? It's been a couple weeks old, a month or so old, and it has been the new great way to support the Age of Empires 4 scene, support all of the great work that everyone's been doing, the future tournaments, everything of the sort. So if you want to support, that is a great way to do it. Obviously, we appreciate the views, the subs, everything else, but that is definitely the number one way.
Yeah, helping EGCTV on Patreon, it's probably the most direct way to support them, able to bring us all of these amazing tournaments. And I mean, Pesty talked about that with 50 patrons. I think we already reached that. There's going to be an announcement very, very soon about the upcoming EGCTV tournaments that are going to be happening as soon as the expansion launches. Obviously, we will immediately start the expansion with the EGC finals. So immediately a very, very high-end tournament coming in there. But after that, we got an entirely new season of Age of Empires 4 esports coming for you. And all the nations over there on Patreon are gonna help us just provide you as much content as possible there.
Yeah, the EGC finals is something that I know a lot. I mean, all the viewers are probably hyped for, but it's something that I've been looking forward to. We've already kind of starting to see what names are going to be invited already, the names that are solidified in, and I believe the last qualifier tournament's coming up here at towards the end of November, maybe for the last couple spots.
Yeah, so limited slots available for that one. We know for sure. I think it's only like 2 slots left, 2 or 4 slots that you could get through the qualifiers. All the other slots are already taken up by players from previous tournaments and runner-ups that have managed to qualify themselves so far. So yeah, it's a very, very high level tournament, and Every player that's able to already play, like, that already qualified can count themselves lucky for that one.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at so the seeds for the open qualifiers right now, it's when you have people that are haven't qualified yet, like Anatan, Demu, Lenog, Zerton, Magic, Baltoon, Divine, Kiljardi, and Lash are the top 9 seeds currently. I mean, that's crazy to think about that they're having a battle for a spot to even play in the tournament over here. And I mean, that's got a lot of stuff on the line over here.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of competition in that one. Very hyped to see that one. And we'll be seeing all the new civilizations in that one. So very, very exciting. Only 10 days remaining. 10 days. And then we getting our sweet new civilization injection there. 6 new civilizations. Lots of balance changes. Very excited for that one. It's so soon. So soon. Very, very excited for it.
It's hard to talk about it because it's you gotta hold it close to the chest over here. But I'm super hyped, super excited to have everyone else see what has in store for what's out there. Really get to see the details, the intricacies, seeing the like complexity to it, because there is definitely some fun civilization choices now. Not that there wasn't before.
Exactly. I mean, just taking 10 civilizations and upping it down to 16, like, how many new matchups are we gonna get? It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. I know a lot of people were like, okay, these new variant civilizations, they're probably not like completely new civilizations. They are. They totally are. They are. They're their own civilization. It's very exciting. Very, very exciting.
But enough about the new civs. We see the timer getting pretty close here over here for Mongols French. So now we're going to kind of jump on into this third game in just a second. It's LucifroN versus B, and the series is already tied back up. Just in a blink of an eye, shows why both of these players are in the semifinals. It was such a close back and forth, all these tight macro decisions. And there's going to be some, or micro decisions, there's going to be some tight micro here with these two civs as well.
Exactly. And here we go. Game number 3 in our first set of the day. We're seeing LucifroN playing in the color blue once again, playing as the Mongols. We're here on Dry Arabia. On the other side, in the color green, we got 3DB playing as the French. We're playing Empire Wars, and usually this matchup is quite favored for the Mongols. With their early tower rush aggression, they can be very, very annoying for the French. But we're here in Empire Wars. The timings are completely different. There's not going to be that really early timing for the Mongols to like deny the gold from the French. That is not going to be happening here. So the matchup might shift in a way that we can't yet foresee exactly what's going to be happening.
Wow, and we're actually seeing the silver tree, and against all civilizations, it's going to be the French that it's chosen against, which is very much one of the civilizations that can take map control. But we see B, he's already going for the stone. This means it's going to be a 2TC opening. It might actually allow LucifroN to get this trade rocking and rolling and really paying off.
Yeah, so trade definitely going to be the way here for LucifroN to scale in this game. B, he's already gathering up stone. So it's going to be a second TC from him. The question is LucifroN also going for a second TC on top of trade like B did earlier? Stable's already coming out for him. B spots that one though.
Yeah, immediately able to scout out that Keshiks are probably going to be coming out to play, as both of these players, they love their cavalry. They love utilizing their micro to its fullest. I mean, you can see how many different areas on the battlefield that these players can micro at the same time. It's absolutely wild. Silver Tree finishing on up a great market location for him to end up trading to down the long road. It's over there kind of tucked behind his base almost. It's not quite in the corner that would be the number one prime thing, but it's still very, very beneficial for him.
Keshik's not out yet. It's going to be out soon, though, and B has not dropped that TC yet. He already has the resource for it, wants to drop it here on the deer. Can't in the way, though.
Oh, and LucifroN, he's going to push all the deer away now. It's going to be so annoying with how far he can push these out.
And the first Keshik has been produced. It's now going to be on the way. There's a lot of villagers on that TC, so very likely the TC is going to go up. But yeah, we can see LucifroN just trying to take out the deer here now. It's going to make sure they're going to be as far away from the TC as possible.
Yeah, B luckily was able to kill 2 of them next to the TC, so has the a little bit of that food that's secured under that TC. But the others, I mean, if you're going out to gather some of the other deer carcasses, you will get slaughtered by any of those roaming Keshiks. B, though, immediately scouts out the market and just, this is what high-level players do so well. It's obviously, it's all these different small things, but one of the biggest things that's noticeable is the vision, the knowledge, and the scouting.
Yeah, just having that information is so important here in this game. Right now, LucifroN, he's got a good advantage when it comes to the army mass, the Keshiks out there as well. Able to double produce them, means he's able to mass up a lot of them. Also idling of B from gold here, that's going to be critical. Because B wants to mass up his own knights, but not having access to gold, he's going to have to think about probably adding some spearmen here earlier rather than later.
Yeah, a couple villagers for LucifroN sneak on out, get a little cheeky outpost in between in between the wood lines where it will get great vision of the on the right side of the wood line, still going to get great vision of the secondary TC that was built. Once upgraded, probably denies those couple carcasses as well.
And also spreading that Yamara network, meaning that LucifroN's knights in the front line are going to have a lot more movement speed here than B's knights. Once again, idling out the gold villagers here.
It looked like B was at the point, though, knew his Royal Knights were coming, just said, all right, I'm going to attack with my villagers, try to maybe get us around on the Keshiks, because getting 2 Keshiks picked off early could just give B the opportunity to have that secondary TC payoff, get that Knight number up and equalize.
Go. Royal Knights fighting against the Keshiks. Knights do have the advantage there in a straight-up one-on-one fight. LucifroN's got a good amount of reinforcements now coming in there from the side. 2 additional Keshiks. That's going to shift the tide there. And look at that, B. He found the outpost going up and immediately able to burn down with his villagers. He's going to idle a couple of his villagers, but takes down 2 from LucifroN in return.
And even has a horseman pop out, guarantee that horseman just going to utilize its mobility to deny the trade, to just constantly have another attack notification, a constant pain in the side for LucifroN, and that's exactly where a couple of those units are headed that way.
That LucifroN going immediately for the gold again, wants to idle out B completely on the gold. As long as B has no gold, LucifroN is going to be able to further scale ahead when it comes to knight count. Loses a knight there.
And the Keshiks are still very much healthy at this point in time. If he gets full denied off of gold, LucifroN can heal up those Keshiks and at the same time maybe get some bounty bonus by burning down the mining camp.
Trading out a scout there for Keshik.
Reinforcements, though, all of a sudden build up quite quickly for B. He's got 3 more knights in queue and gets his first trader kill.
Horseman able to take down some of those traders. Looking good. B almost exhausted the deers on the front side there. Does now have a good amount of Royal Knights, though. With that, should be able to finally get some match control.
Barely able to escape. Another Royal Knight quite low. Scouts trying to get some body blocking, but able to get back to that secondary TC. And slowly building up this eco-villager lead.
Army value, very even right now between these 2 players. Destruction value, though. B managed to take down a lot of Keshiks here so far.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously villagers and traders have a fundamental difference here, but B is starting to stack up that Vill lead, and will need to move out to a secondary food resource. A knight is on the ground there, always a loss that you hate to see if you're a French player.
Oh, able to take down another trader there, able to take down the Keshik, and now running away again. Yeah, being on the retreat is never really too fun. Oh, catching the villagers.
He hasn't quite realized yet, I don't think.
Oh, at the same time, LucifroN
on the other side.
Both of these players just so active on the map. It's very hard for either of them to fully react to all of those sides. But in the end, I think B here takes the better trade.
Yeah, and another knight splits off. He's denying every single one of the vills at the tower. He's also on the gold. LucifroN does react to the gold correctly. Oh, he only pulled off about half of them. Textiles, though, is so fundamental during these fights.
Yeah, LucifroN not losing as many villagers as he probably should have there. Yeah, that's a huge eco difference out right now. Almost 20 economy units.
Yeah, by the end of it, you can see the kill difference, 13-2. Huge pickups for B here. The second TC definitely going to have paid off at this point, and trade is not going to be the easiest now that his knight number is climbing and climbing fast. 3 knights, though, thrown down the drain.
Ah, that hurts to see. That definitely hurts to see. But at the same time, like B, he's able to take these inferior trades as he's still taking down eco behind all of it here from LucifroN.
Yeah, this is where being the French, you always want to be fighting on your opponent's side. LucifroN, he's been able to raid early on, but it's not seeming like he's going to be sending those Keshiks across this this map for too much longer with this many knights. Another Keshik should go down here. Yep.
Charge coming in. Yep. Goes down. And B, he still has units over here. LucifroN wasn't able to clean them up yet. So many traders have gone down. Look at that. 17 eco units so far killed here by B.
I feel like LucifroN's been at the same eco number for the past 3 minutes or so. Just B constantly killing eco unit after eco unit. Yes, like you said, he's lost some knights along the way, but the trades are still beneficial. He circles back again. There's 5 trade. I mean, this is like what we see killing the villagers, but oh no, on the other side, B's berries are getting slaughtered.
Both players just going for each other's bases right now, taking down the economy here. It is such a hectic game here right now. And it's purely knights from either side.
It feels like a French mirror matchup over here.
Oh no, the food economy from B. There's a lot of villagers there on the top side.
Oh. There's no scouting. B. Oh no! There's so many Keshiks here. This is gonna make this eco lead just absolutely get wiped away and equalize somewhat.
They're still taking down so many units here behind that. B actually able to survive with a lot of villagers. Probably not taking as many losses as he should have there.
Yeah, had a lot of knights, I guess, somewhat close, able to reinforce. The Keshiks have to choose then. Are they going to take the damage from the knights, or are they going to kill the, or are they going to take the trade against the lower health knights? And a lot of villagers do escape, and B is still up about 25 villagers.
Yeah, chat's already mentioning it. Absolute shout out to Vodka being able to actually keep up with this incredible madness going on here right now. So much action going on all of these sides, and more raids happening here. Look at that, B in the wood line now. LucifroN completely off gold. He doesn't have any more gold for Keshiks. Nothing in the bank.
And he's running out of food under his town center. We just saw him starting to run low. He's over on those deer that we saw the outpost get crushed at. But there's like 2 traders left out on the map, and LucifroN, his eco, it's just continually falling over and over and over again. Be investing in the walls as well. He's everywhere.
Food economy again. Oh no. LucifroN's not noticed yet. Now he does. So many villagers already gone down.
And look at B. He can build walls. The vital difference between their civilization. If he can get these walls up and secured, this is so much food, so much gold, and basically so much APM that he saves for himself.
Right now, B doubling, almost doubling the population from LucifroN, doubling the eco pop as well. It feels like there's no way back for LucifroN in this one.
No, at this point, not a chance. B is just going to always be able to outproduce, and they're basically building the same unit, but B's outclasses the other unit.
It is a little bit more expensive. LucifroN has a good ball here, but his economy at home is completely in shambles. B doubling his food income, and more than like quadrupling the gold income here.
He's just sitting under the TC. He's idling all of these villagers, taking down more of the villagers. The last couple sheep that are alive under the TC, not going to be able to get gathered from.
Behind that, B also going for farm transition. Once again, knight on the food economy. It's a goal that LucifroN's really struggling on right now.
Keshiks, though, they're going to heal up from burning down those walls. That is one of the nice benefits of seeing your opponents build walls that you can't have, is it gives your unit some extra strength.
Asking why there are no spearmen out right now. Spearmen are just not mobile enough. When there's only knights in play, you cannot really make Spearman, especially for
Does that Keshic
Mongols.
out heal? No, it doesn't.
Nah, imagine if it did, if it just was able to stay there infinitely. That did manage to, oh, a lot of villagers actually went down there.
But finally, B are starting to respect this ball that LucifroN has, sending a big Night Mass up to the northern side, taking these trades, and LucifroN still cannot eclipse 50 eco units.
I wanted to get at is, as the Mongols, you want to have like your trade economy, and Spearmen just aren't fast enough to protect the entire trade line. That's the main issue for them here. LucifroN, he still has a good lead when it comes to the Keshic numbers here. But it's just, every time the army are just, they're just so split, so far split apart. Like, you never really have these one big engagements here.
And more walls being built. As you mentioned, the farming transition getting somewhat finished up for 3DB. And as French, like, if you are able to get through your farm transition, still continually keep up this pressure. But a fight comes in, Keshik's diving in. The gold mine makes it to where half of B's knights aren't able to trade on in. LucifroN, he definitely planned that. He definitely knew it, but I still don't see too many green knights on the ground.
B, he did get the chivalry upgrade, so if he's able to get out there, these knights can heal up again passively. A couple though are taken down with the charge. B's committing to a fight here, which he definitely shouldn't. He's going back to the TC. Support fire from the TC, then he can potentially take this fight. Behind that though, LucifroN actually aging up with the Kurultai. Really doesn't want to take this fight now.
Yeah, I mean, going up throughout all of this pressure, throughout all of this craziness, he's behind an eco, but he doesn't care.
He's completely sacrificed his wood income behind this.
Yeah, wood income at 0. Trade is going to get demolished again. B taking some trades, falling back. It basically was one knight for 2 Keshiks. Always going to take that benefit.
There's more knights and Keshiks out now.
And B has walls fully secured, so even if Castle Age comes out, LucifroN can get upgrades, but B has a lot of times to counter this out. He sees it, splits off another group of knights like he has been doing this whole game, idling out more eco, and then pulling back to regroup.
Veterancy on the Keshiks coming in. It's going to take a little bit until that finishes up. And behind that, look at that B splitting up his army again. He's going to be able to completely idle out all the villagers under TC and potentially kill a lot of them. He's got 30 knights to 20 Keshiks.
And as you said, he's right on top of those villagers. They're circling around the TC, just trying to run. A couple of reinforcing Keshiks are getting killed out too while their numbers are thin. And then right when the mass comes back in, B just runs back away with that split off group.
So tough to really nail down any of these units here from B. And now behind that, he's going up with the Royal Institute. He's up to 2k food per minute.
Yeah, just in a blink of an eye. Still hasn't taken any too detrimental trades on his side. Actually taken some great trades against Keshiks. Got about 10 Royal Knights against 4 Keshiks. Should be able to clean those up. And clean those up he does. And LucifroN is getting cleaned up too. Game number 3 goes over to 3DB.
And with that, the French win against the Mongols here. Not the scenario that we usually see in this matchup, but that's Empire Wars for you. Let's take the normal timings and throws it all out the windows. With that, B is going to be leading 2-1 here against LucifroN.
Yeah, it never feels good fighting French in a cavalry versus cavalry matchup, as they just have so many extra bonuses on theirs compared to yours. And that's where B was able to take those trades, able to allow that secondary TC to just slowly pay off over time as he retook the map control.
Exactly. This is a best of 7, so it's not yet match point for B. He'll have to win another one in order to get to that point in time. See the military count just further escalating for B. Able to win it in the long run there, throughout Feudal Age and then into early Castle Age. And look at that. Next map, it's going to be Canal, and we see another mirror here so far on these hybrid maps. It's been a lot of mirrors, and it's going to be a Delhi mirror between these two. That's going to be an interesting one. Like, both these players are really good with Delhi.
This is one that you immediately think like, all right, Canal, Delhi can have that like extra benefit with their fishing boats that are able to fire, but they're just like galleys in the sense that you can kind of micro dodge everything on out. And it's going to be, the biggest effect is going to be the 4 sacred sites that happen on Canal. That is really going to be where, if you can long-term secure, I would say 2 of those that isn't going to be contested, that gives you a huge leg up.
Yeah, for Delhi here, there are two major ways of scaling. One, as you mentioned, it's going to be those 4 sacred sites. The other is going to be that shoreline fishing in the middle of the map. If one of the players is able to secure both, that feels like a surefire way to win the game.
Yeah, that is for sure. I could definitely see a lot of that micro on the river happen nonstop between some military ships, between sending them back and forth, between the fishing ships as well. And really that's where I feel like the two corner sacred sites, you could see one of these players just sending like 1 or 2 spears or archers out and trying to like maybe get some walls out. That way they have one secured. It's never going to get touched. It's never going to get worried about it without a good amount of investment, because it takes time to burn down those walls.
Yeah, exactly. Like these corner walls are really, really easy to set up. You save a lot of wood on them, these cliffs. So able to secure the sacred site there. Definitely gonna pay off quickly. Yeah, only a couple of seconds, and then we're immediately jumping into our game number 4 here of the first set.
Yeah, games have been going. We haven't seen one of these 2 extended games on out, and that's one of the things about Empire Wars. And this is where on Canal, we're going to see a little bit of a difference from beginning, but we're jumping right on into this mirror matchup here now.
Exactly, and here we go into our game number 4. Starting off with LucifroN in the color blue here. Immediately walking forward with a couple of villagers. We're in a Delhi mirror here on Canal. On the opposite side, we got DrDabston with the color green. And look at that, also pulling a couple of villagers here. Just a meager 5 from both sides here. We're playing Empire Wars. It's all relative, right? And it's a lot. Wait, actually, LucifroN also pulling the scholars out. That is all right. Okay, that's interesting.
So the scouts are about to see what the other side has in store. They're going to see, all right. At first, B's like, oh, good, I have a villager lead. Oh, wait, nope, there's a 5th one. Oh, and there's 3 scholars. Uh-oh. I did not bring my scholars. You can see he's building.
Interesting technology. There's an interesting technology in the dock where you're actually able to put your scholars inside the dock and get the bonus research time. So this might potentially be a play here from either of these players. And look at that, LucifroN pulling a villager. He wants to get a wall up there. If he gets that wall up, he could deny the fishing from B completely. But B putting down wanted to put down a second dock. Ah, that hurts. He actually had to delete 2 of his shoreline fish there to get that up. And now an outpost coming up as well.
He pulls the villagers. We are going to see this micro war, but it's 2 scholars versus 3. And B, he's going to be outnumbered here. He can't take this fight. Scholars are going to be microed back, healing up the villagers.
Ship, though. The first ship is going to be coming out here soon. That could make a difference.
Just trying to focus in, make sure the outpost doesn't come up too healthy. The first ship's out. Starts attacking the villager. But look at the healing. It heals just so much. The 5th villager coming to try to help burn down the outpost, but the outpost is going to go up. It's going to be able to get healed up, and the scholars, they're still there. They're going to jump inside.
But the scholars from B able to heal as well.
It's getting out healed. The villagers are on LucifroN's side doesn't get healed anymore. He jumps inside the outpost. Demo!
Oh, huge!
Holy! All right. Well, this game might be over before it even begins.
Oh my god, you think you're safe? Well, you're not. And with that, the outpost gets taken down.
You look away for a split second, and that is just where a game can flip upside down so quickly. It's not quite over, but that big of a deficit this early hurts.
What a demo connection there. 4B able to take down so many villagers, and that was just so much damage coming out there. LucifroN, though, he's the first one out there with a military ship. No demo ship again from B in the queue here. Gonna have to wait and see with what B is gonna be pulling out here on water if he wants to get back on it.
And the thing about B, though, he does have a fishing boat out for support. Those can help out quite a bit with healing them up, healing up their adversaries or hitting their opponent. And so this is really where B, we saw in the other hybrid map, not really respect the land military at all, but on this one, he's not making that mistake. He's already getting spears out, and he's going to send those out on the map, and I'm going to guess that some walls are going to be coming down as well.
This is a dangerous position for LucifroN, right? Like, he's in between two docks. Demo ships, it's going to only give him a little bit of reaction time to react to them, and look at that. He got the devil, and
you just knew exactly what was going to come, and as you say that, B pushes up with his next fishing ship. A demo pops out. The Springles are just going to be trading the fishing ship, though. It's barely healing up the Springle ship, and it's not healing it enough. And B loses not only the Springle ship, but also
the dock.
Well, he's going to lose his dock now, too. Demo's ships trades out. LucifroN has 2 demos just ready and waiting. He might... Oh, villagers! Oh, no. Oh, don't do it to us. Don't do it to us. Okay.
Oh, somehow the archer ship went down, and B's just gonna immediately replace that dock.
I think the scouts burnt down the archer ship.
Yeah, must have. Must have been. Amazing. And now Gazi Raid is coming out, but B already has some spearmen out. Another Bagler coming out. Not going to be able to kill a villager, and looks like B actually got the emplacement on his docks.
Yeah, and not only is he going to have that one emplacement, you can see how much stone he has in the bank. I wouldn't even be surprised to see him drop a secondary TC at some point with how much stone he has.
Could be. I mean, that is a lot of stone. What's he going to use it for? Next thing that he could use it for would be in Castle Age for keeps. It's going to be a while until that, and now a second emplacement is going to be coming out. Bunch of demos, though, once again being in queue here for LucifroN. Has to be careful. If he loses that Bagler there, he's just going to be able to repair the dock.
Yeah, exactly. And his villagers, they're not too far away. They're actually on that wood line directly to the south, so they're able to kind of regroup. And there's spears there protecting the villagers, so if the Gazi Raiders come, he doesn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. Emplacements out there.
The emplacements with double emplacements on that, as far as defense goes, it's just so much damage. And oh no, I saw the villagers coming. I just immediately had some deja vu, but just blows up the demo to kill down the Springled ship.
Yeah, and both players repairing the docks, and right now B.
Again! Oh god!
Oh no, that is absolutely terrible right now for LucifroN.
Caster curse.
Oh my lord.
You can see the movement for the sacred sites is already starting. LucifroN, first one to secure up a sacred site for himself. He has a demo pop out, hasn't done anything with the demo, and is able to at least barely get into range of that Springled ship before going down.
He's got 3 more demos in queue. Oh, that poor Bagler. Oh, maybe not so poor. Able to make its way out.
Yeah, he's fine. He's like, all right, I'm out. The Springled
demo ships aren't paying off at all. Like, it's just gonna be repaired, right? Like, right now, these demos don't really do anything.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a good amount of damage that he's or a good amount of resources that he's investing into it that just hasn't gotten a ton of return. He finally is able to put the dock on fire, but he still doesn't even have the Springled ship killed yet.
Oh, actually, the Bagler there, kind of huge, being able to pull it in the front there. He takes damage on the Bagler, but he's able to defend the dock. Okay, now both are going on. Oh, no.
And this dock, it's somehow still alive, but the dock on the other side for LucifroN, it's finally on fire. Villagers pulled back from B. He's going to just build another dock, and LucifroN's dock, though, it will get denied. That's all the fishing that he invested into. That's all the water now that B should be able to no longer make these Springled ships, but instead, he can start making fishing ships.
That has been an absolutely wild ride here.
Oh, 2 scholars! Oh, we didn't even think about the scholars. That's the even bigger pickup than the dock.
Yeah, look at that. B, he's up almost 10 scholars, and LucifroN's on 2. Yeah, that's GG. Very, very deserved GG. Wow. Wow, what a game that we have here. And with, now B is going to be on match point here. It's going to be 3-1 here in the set, very early on, and this one has been absolutely chaotic game. Look at that villager count there. We just see those demos getting so much value. Wow.
That was, I mean, unbelievable. I mean, from the 2-minute mark, you're down 5-6 vills or so, and it's just hard to come back, even with fishing boats. Even though LucifroN was able to secure the first sacred site, you mentioned it at the end. All of a sudden, you looked and we weren't paying attention because you don't see the scholar production a lot at home. He's putting them into Dome of the Faith, or he's putting them into mosques or whatever. And then all of a sudden, we look and B had 10 scholars. His techs, if they decided to go castle or whatever it may have been, they would have been coming through so fast. And not only that, if any all-in happens, he's pulling those scholars, he's pulling the boys, and that's a lot.
Yeah, we also didn't talk about it earlier, but I mean, LucifroN, he went for Tower Victory, and B, he went for Dome of the Faith. So LucifroN, he never really had the option to like make cheap scholars. B had that all the time, and which then makes it even weirder. With Tower of Victory, LucifroN went for Ghazi Raider, so the Tower of Victory never really did anything for him there.
Yeah, just kind of a worthless landmark other than getting him up to the age that he needed to get to. And we were about to see our third mirror matchup. The other couple mirror matchups I was kind of excited to see. This one, I mean, maybe Mongolian Heights has some changes of paces here. Maybe we'll see some excitement, some different things than expected. But English Mirrors never is one that makes me too excited here.
Yeah, it's a mirror. It's a mirror. We get those, but it's gonna be on Mongolian Heights, and Mongolian Heights is one of my favorite maps in the game. I'm very excited to see that one again. Like just having in the map pool. Very excited every time I see it, and it's an English mirror on Mongolian Heights. It's still a water map. There's still water to be thought about, so could be that we see a little bit more of action here in this one.
Yeah, the thing about English with the hybrid water maps is you get 10 longbows out and all of a sudden you're able to secure the water for yourself or deny any of your opponent's water. So it feels bad investing into it. That being said, there's shoreline fish that can be gathered and everything there, but we are getting into game number 5.
All right. Any second.
Any second now, it's going to be the English mirror that we've been waiting for on Mongolian Heights.
Not the English mirror we needed, not the English mirror we deserved, but the English mirror that we got. Here we go, Mongolian Heights. We got LucifroN, once again the color blue, playing as, you guessed it, the English. And then on the other side, B in the green, also playing as the English. And start off with the dock here from two sides.
This was actually pretty close for LucifroN to be able to scout out the dock. Those are English villagers, and you can start shooting. And he honestly would have been pretty close to being able to deny the dock for B if he had seen it immediately, but instead just able to secure the dock. Bringing 2 villagers doesn't feel too bad either because you're able to just gather that shoreline fish. It's some great economic resources for you.
Yeah, B, the first one to click up here somehow, and LucifroN's still quite a bit ahead. What's in the... Oh, another dock. B there.
Yeah, very, very far out, very far away from LucifroN's base as well. So just kind of one of these that you're like, hey, hopefully you don't scout it. And if you do scout it, it takes a while to get over there. But
okay, that's going to be a different one. Yeah, it's going to be a very different one. Not just that, but LucifroN, he also went for the very early wheelbarrow. That's why he's so much later up till next age. But he's going to be aging up with 5 villagers here. So it's not going to be too far behind. Roughly like 20-30 seconds maybe behind an age up. But yeah, we see an Abbey of Kings here coming out, and that means we're going to be seeing some cavalry units out on the field. At the same time, though, that means that LucifroN, he's not going to be instantly having access to archers, to longbows, and longbows, we talked about earlier during the loading screen, longbows can make a big difference when it comes to being able to take control over water, because the longbows, they have 7 tiles of range. Normal archers only have 5 tiles of range, right? So longbows able to take down water in these like very slim canals where the attack ships don't really have an option to like fall back too far.
Yeah, and you can see LucifroN scouts doing a good job of getting over to B's side. Wants to see what B has in store. Obviously, should expect the Council Hall, and that is what B decided to do. And a little bit later on the wheelbarrow coming in for B, most important economic upgrade for the English civilization for sure.
B and LucifroN both immediately got a Hulk in their queue. LucifroN also with that knight, or with the king in the queue from the Abbey of Kings. Immediately seeing 2 longbows in the queue as well. So it's going to be action here very soon as the first Hulk is just now getting out. There we go. Immediately going on the villager here.
Oh, great idea. Just making sure you can have that fully secured. You might even be able to get some damage on the second one, not kill it. But if you go in the fishing boats, they're just going to jump inside the dock. So it was a great focus by B. Gives himself that first little bit of a leg up on that trade. Oh, but doesn't react with his own villager.
Almost loses it. And there we go. Demo ship. LucifroN, he's been so on top of the game here so far when it comes to all of these demo ships. And once again, able to get a good connection here, very likely. He's body blocking the fishing ship, actually, from repairing. There we go.
Oh, and there's the galley that came out, able to get on top of the Springle chip, and it doesn't get killed. 3DB with the micro.
There's also some longbows just dishing out a little bit of damage here and there. And now the push up from B. Huge value been found there. Wow.
Where's the king? The king, though, on the back line.
Gold. All right. With that gold, it's going to be completely denied for now.
No villager kills, though, yet by LucifroN. B was able to pick up, I think, 2 throughout all that.
Yeah, he killed one of the fishing ships. He killed one of the villagers there immediately on the dock. Now another Hulk has come out. Has to be careful about his galley, though. Galley gets taken down here. And with that, once again, demo ships can come in.
Villager on the backside getting focused down by some scouts. The demo pops in, and B reacts a little late. The Springle barely gets out of the range, and he's able to pick up the one on the other side. Huge trades by 3DB.
And behind all of that, he's got another dock in the top side there. He could go on fishing ships there. He has one fishing ship there. Doesn't invest too much in there right now. He really wants to secure the water here. LucifroN, he's got that king out. He's getting some damage in there, but I feel like he needs to think of something else if he wants to take back water.
His scout even was able to pick up an additional villager behind it. The longbow number, it's not quite to the scary point we're at, but it's not like it's been thinned out to where it's at 2 or 3 as LucifroN. He still only has the king out on his side, getting some economic upgrades behind this and heading in towards the wood line.
LucifroN now on the wood lines, able to deny some of the wood.
But B's doing the same, and he's actually going to be able to kill some vills here because he's got those 6 longbows, 2-shot villagers over. And there's the double stables, though.
B already having some spearmen out. They're still on the way on the side from him, though. They're trying to defend the wood line, so these longbows could be in danger here if LucifroN gets some of these horsemen out.
I mean, maybe these are at the point where he's just kind of thinking of these as some throwaway longbows, where, you know, get another couple villager kill or 2, get some more idle time, and behind this, he's going to have the water. He just denied the dock fully on the other side. Start investing into some fishing. Horseman kiting back, and this is where the Abbey, you feel good about getting those trades with the horseman, and then you're like, oh yeah, that's going to be 2 low health horsemen. No, it's not. That's going to be 2 full health horsemen.
Loses one, though.
It's going to be 1 full health horseman.
Yeah, the other one, though, he's going to get full use out of that one. Spearmen now making their way across, though. LucifroN, once again, with that great micro, could be able to deny the gold again. The king always being able to heal himself up there. He's been on that side from B the entire time. Just causing havoc there in the economy.
Finally, we see the horseman number be enough to go in on the longbows. Spearman comes in reinforcements. LucifroN pushes back by. This is the point, though, that if the second spearman arrives, LucifroN cannot take this fight any longer.
Oh, there are more horsemen, though. And once again, able to keep that one with very low HP alive and going to heal that one up. That was a great fight here for LucifroN. Look at him microing, not fighting against the spearman. Some players might want to, like, overpower the spearman with the horseman count, not LucifroN. Managing to micro it down, get all of the longbowmen out there, and now healing 3 of them up again. And behind that, he's going up to the next stage.
He's going up to the next stage. 3DB, though, doesn't look like he's too far behind. He's about halfway when it comes to resources, but what he has in his advantage is the extra eco. He's got 10 extra economy already. Actually decides to spend some gold, so isn't quite saving up for Castle, just has a ton of food income coming in the bank with the fishing ships he has and the farms.
I mean, you don't really rush villagers with spearmen from the English, so being LucifroN in theory able to pull the short bows there. And now we see some raids going over the other side there.
Oh,
longbows.
longbows across the scout.
Scout.
LucifroN hasn't reacted yet. Invisible longbows. Oh no. He finally
Now.
sees it, and what is that, 4 or 5 villagers on the ground after already taking a good amount of damage?
Ooh, I mean, behind that B, he's got a 17 eco units lead there right now with the fishing. His army consistent of infantry. Does have enough spearmen, and LucifroN going into cavalry here. Oh, he's going to be completely... Never mind, he does have gold. He does have gold with the landmark, so he's going to have gold access still.
Still, this feels so bad. You're going into more cavalry, and B, he can just keep making spears, play this defensive English game, I feel like, and give yourself a couple seconds, and B's going to be Castle Age, equalizing the techs, and LucifroN not even able to take some good trades with the cavalry he does have.
Yeah, this is a very rough matchup for LucifroN here right now. Still, he is in Castle Age. He does have that second TC going for him. But he's also very far behind an army. It's going to be very tough for him to come back in this one. Does have some knights here in the back, though. 2 spearmen are not going to be enough. He even gets a charge out. Brace not happening in time, and with that, going to be able to clear out once again a couple of the units here.
B, though, has been able to idle out a significant amount of these farms, which might not mean much if LucifroN had control of water, but he doesn't, so he's had to build a whole new set of farms behind this. He's having to go on to other sorts of food resources, and, I mean, this is a lot of denial, a lot of idle time, and B still behind this. Tons of resources in the bank. He should be able to get up to castle in the next couple seconds.
All knights still in production, but yeah, 20 spearmen out. That is a lot. That is a lot of spearmen, a lot of infantry out right now. But he only needs a little bit more gold to be able to click up himself, and he has units on either side from LucifroN's base here. It is very tough for LucifroN to really get onto resources here behind this.
Oh, he's on top of the wood line. He spots where one of the wood lines that LucifroN remacroed over to, and immediately you can see where the other little green blob is coming towards. It's going to be right towards those knights, right towards those reinforcing units. I think, yep, there it is. The King's Palace, 18 villagers. B just needs to age up, get veterancy on his longbows, veterancy on his spears, and it's over.
Usually in English mirrors, whoever is able to like get out a lot of men-at-arms tends to win the set here, or rather tends to win the series. Not the series, the game. Lots of men-at-arms win you the game in an English mirror. Neither player, though, so far have gone into men-at-arms, and now, actually, this could probably be the best time for LucifroN to fight just as the age-up comes in before the upgrades come in.
He was trying to micro back the low health knights as they took damage to heal under the Abbey, and I mean the knight trades, they're going pretty well for him considering how much he's outnumbered. But this is where the spears, they're able to close the distance. He takes the fight before the upgrades come through, and even still LucifroN losing the fight. But this is the best fight he could take, and this might just be the series.
Yeah, he has no more military left, and now, yeah, man, what a clean game here so far from B. Like, these last couple of games, they've been so chaotic, so absolutely messy. And B, he just takes it so convincingly in like the last 2 games here. In the Delhi mirror, in the English mirror. That was a really, really clean set here so far from B. And that against a player like LucifroN, that is just insane.